Hello, my name is Collection Connoisseur. I collect digital thingamabobs and video games. Today I'm playing Monster Train. This time on Monster Train will be my first attempt at Covenant rank 25, the last final Covenant rank, which is the Herzl Cup. Ooh, look at this. So this is more than it said on the screen before. So Seraph has plus 1,000 health. The last divinity has plus 1,500 health. Okay, so both the final bosses get a lot more health. That could be bad, but if you make your deck strong enough to get to the point that you can defeat those two final bosses, you might be able to defeat them with more health. 1,000 more health is kind of a lot, though. Our last deck would have done it. Anyway, we are playing with the Wormkin Hellhorned. We've played with the Wormkin Hellhorned twice now. The last time we played with the exiled Wormkin, so we're going to play as the primary Wormkin champion, the Spine Chief. And the time before that, we played with the primary, so this time we're going to do primary exiled. Primary Wormkin, exiled Hellhorned, so that it's a clan combination and starting deck combination that we've never played before. We've got Fracture with the Spine Chief. Don't really like Fracture, but I do think I like the Spine Chief. I think the Spine Chief is powerful as a champion. And then the Queen's Impling is fine. Because we have Fracture, we can kind of deal with enemies in the back, so losing out on Torch is not so bad. But we'll find out how we actually like having Queen's Implings in the deck once we get started. And let's get started. Alright, we've got Echo Snare, which I tend not to like. We've got Welder Helper, which, of the imps, I think that I tend to like Welder Helper the most. They're kind of the best chump blocks. If you know the term from Magic the Gathering, Welder Helpers are better chump blockers than the other imps. And then Ancient Resonance. Ancient Resonance is interesting. Deal 5 damage to enemy units per echo. That's pretty strong, actually. If we can put a True Stone on that, that might be very good to have. For our boss, we've got Seraph the Chaste. Seraph the Chaste removes buffs and debuffs, so Reap is not going to work particularly well on Seraph the Chaste. That's good to know. Bell the Wings of Light has Spell Shield 5 on the Alabaster Guardians. That's not great, but it might not be too bad. It just depends on what deck we've got when we get there. Daedalus the Professor has probably the thing that I see the least with Daedalus the Professor, the Explosive Sigil. Enemy units deal 1 damage to the front unit on death. That could be bad or interesting with the imps that we have in our deck. We'll see when we get there, I guess. But I don't think we have anything that we really need to know out of that, aside from that Fell the Wings of Light has Spell Shield, and Seraph the Chaste doesn't work with Reap. Okay. I think we do Champion before Artifact. That's what I've decided is the best order for those. So the Spine Chief, well, they're both the Spine Chief. The Decayer is interesting, except that it doesn't actually work against Seraph or the Last Divinity. So since that doesn't work against Seraph or the Last Divinity, we probably don't do the Decayer. And instead, just get more Echoes. Getting more Echoes does power up Ancient Resonance, and it allows us to do things that rely on Echoes more. Fracture is our current thing, but other things we might get in the future. So I think we're going to go the Infector. The Infector also deals more damage, which is good for the start. So let's take the Infector. And so you do know that I really like my Winged Steels. I almost will certainly take Winged Steel, but let's consider Encased Divinity. We have Encased Divinity. We have an Echo that can never be removed. It's good, but we don't carry yet. And since we don't carry yet, I think we take Winged Steel. I could see reasons why this would be better, but it relies on a deck that we do not yet have, and we don't know if we will get. Alright, going to the first one. The Gathered Clergy. We could get enemy units appearing on every floor. That's kind of bad. But I guess we have a lot of Implings to throw away. We've got the Queen's Implings and the Welder Helpers. Alright, we'll do it. I like turning on the first one. So, Mark of Invasion. That means we're going to start at the top. The question is, will it cause us to lose any damage in our pyre? So I could avoid it entirely with Ancient Resonance and Fracture this turn. But then what do we do following turns? I don't know. In any event, we're going to put the Spine Chief on top. On the top floor. I don't know if we play the Welder Helper or we play the Fracture Ancient Resonance. I think we're not going to play the Welder Helper this turn. So we're going to take the Ember Drain, and we've got to do Fracture so that we have at least one Echo so that Ancient Resonance works. Alright, first turn solved. Queen's Impling, we would have rather had you next turn, but we didn't get to choose. Okay, unfortunately the Collector is not going to be killed unless we use a Fracture on it. It's kind of hard to use a Fracture on the Collector because we want to play another Queen's Impling to defeat another set of guys. But no. We're going to take 2 damage on the Pyre in order to kill the Collector. So we take 2 damage on the Pyre, and I expected that because we wanted that 50 gold. Echo Snare could... It actually can't deal with these because there's no Reap there yet. The Train Steward, if we put the Train Steward at the top, it actually doesn't do anything yet. So I think what we do is we place some Train Stewards in the center so that they die. One of them will die, the other one doesn't. We play the Echo Snare at the top to just wipe out this floor. And we could play the Welder Helper at the top. The Welder Helper at the top is probably better than playing a 3rd Train Steward. So let's play the Welder Helper at the top. This gives me something to put in front of our champion, so that our champion can deal more to the boss. I don't know how we're going to deal with all 4 of the next floor, but, you know, it's only 1 damage per one that gets up there, so I guess we don't care very much. If we put the Queen's Impling in front... Actually, we could just do Echo Snare. We kind of want to do Echo Snare at the bottom as well. Echo Snare at the bottom plus the Fracture is really good. If we play the Queen's Impling in front, then we kill one, the Queen's Impling dies, and then we kill 2 more. If we put the Queen's Impling behind, then we kill all 4 of them, but then we've got a Queen's Impling taking up space up there, and we get Ember Drain next turn. The only way to avoid the 1 damage is to put the Queen's Impling up there, or to play Echo Snare or Fracture up here. And I really want to do those things on the boss. Maybe we deal with the boss later. So we just do the Echo Snare up here, and play a Queen's Impling and a Fracture. Fracture on the boss. Sure. So we take care of the entire top floor, avoid 1 damage, because I think that we're going to have no trouble taking out this boss. I think. We can do a Fracture, then an Ancient Resonance. Or we could just do... We're going to do a Fracture, no matter what. So how about a Fracture first, on the boss, If we do another Fracture on the boss, we do the boss more damage. We've got Queen's Impling for days next turn. So what if we do another Fracture on the boss, deal the boss more damage, and then play this Train Steward in front. So this Train Steward dies, but takes all 3 hits, and then you get to kill the front clergyman. And then we'll have a Queen's Impling next turn to kill another clergyman. So we've got the Queen's Impling like we expected. We're already actually winning at the top, so I don't need to do anything. You just click end turn and win. So we won the first one, taking 2 damage. 2 damage taken. We collect some gold. And then we think about what we need. So Echo Infusion I tend to like. Echo Infusion can be quite good. It's much better if it has infused on it, of course. We already have an Echo Snare. We have 2 Echo Snares, and I don't really like them that much. So I'm not going to take the Echo Snare. The Forgotten Trade would gain at least 1 Ember whenever we play it. It could gain a lot of Ember, but we'd need a payoff. Getting lots of Ember doesn't do anything unless you can do something with all that Ember. I think I'm going to take it rather than Echo Infusion, because I think it has overall more of a potential than Echo Infusion does, especially because it's already infused. But I'm not sure that it's the correct decision. We could get Vent, which is infused. We could get Hidden Passage. The nice thing about Hidden Passage is if we get units that we want to stack all on one floor, then we could stack them all on that floor with Hidden Passage. On the other hand, I do like my vents. A vent that's infused is okay. It's another thing, it's kind of like the Ancient Resonance Mark II. We could have 2 Ancient Resonances in the deck, basically, with a Fracture and an Ancient Resonance. I think I am going to take the vent, and hope that's the correct choice. We did just pass up 2 things that could have given me more health in my units, armor and plus 10 health. Let's hope we don't regret that. Because we're getting so many echoes, I probably want to go to the Wormkin banner. The only problem is, do we upgrade any of our units? We could upgrade a Welder Helper. It's not terrible to upgrade a Welder Helper. I do really want the Merchant of Magic, but I think we want a Wormkin unit. So let's go to the left. Let's look at the Merchant of Steel, because it might have an effect on what unit we take. Speedstone seems like it doesn't affect too many choices. There is a Heartstone and a Strength Stone. So there is Glareminder, which has Sweep. And you know how I like my Sweep units. The Etch only happens on Consumes. I mean, both of them have Etch, so the Etch only happens on Consumes for both of them. The First of Kin costs a lot to play, but has much better stats. If we look at Essences, the First of Kin Essence is really basic, just gives the Etch. I do like the First of Kin. I'm kind of thinking about it because we took the thing that gives me more Ember. This is something that could actually use the Ember, and it gets benefit out of the fact that it has Consume on it. But the Glareminder has Sweep, and I like my Sweep units. We could have a quick Sweep unit, which is pretty good with Sweep units, for them to have quick on it. This is a hard choice. I know I'm going to take one of them. I'm going to take First of Kin. There's 2 reasons why this may be a bad choice. The first one is that it costs 3. The second one is that it costs 3 space, which means it doesn't fit with my champion currently. But we're taking it. And now we're going to upgrade. And I kind of want to just re-roll, because the speed stone is not the thing that we want when we got the first of kin. It's the thing that you would have gotten if you took the other one, if you took the sweep unit. So what if we re-roll first and hope for a better stone here? I think I will do that. A large stone. You know, it's a better stone. It's better on the sweep unit that we did not take, though, which makes me question my decisions a little bit more. I'm going to put it on the first of kin. First of kin takes up lots of space. And then what? We could put a heartstone on a welder helper. Kind of like putting a heartstone on a welder helper. And we could put the Fury Stone on a welder helper too. Let's do that. So we've got one super welder helper. Everything else we're fine getting rid of. Okay. Not my favorite of changes that we've made so far. Let's go to the next one. So we do get a unit draft, but you having haste and armor 10 might be bad. Might be bad. Can we really deal with those units? I guess we've got lots of fractures, and we have the vent and the ancient resonance. Okay, fine. Let's... No, wait a minute. We can only deal with them if they only have 1 health. If they have 11 health, can we deal with them? Hold on, before I turn that on. Can we deal with them if they have 11 health? The fractures don't really do much then. Because the Reap does 1 damage. It doesn't go through armor. I don't know. I want the unit draft, though. Alright, let's turn it on. This may be a poor decision. Let's find out. Okay, so the first of kin probably goes on the bottom. See, the vent doesn't really do much this turn. Alright, first of kin goes at the bottom. You take out 1 of them. Basically every turn you take out 1. Spine Chief goes at the top. And then the vent doesn't do anything except give us some echoes. Where do we want the echo? Putting it at the bottom doesn't do much. Putting it at the top makes it so that next turn an Ancient Resonance would do more. I think I actually want it at the bottom, though. Ho-ho! Alright, well, we'll use the Echo Snare down here that also has the etch value. Alright, the real question is, how many of them can we kill? Well, the Queen's Impling can take 1 out. And we don't get the Ember Drain from the Queen's Impling, which is nice. This one is going to die. That means that the Conduit Infiltrator currently survives. Conduit Infiltrator currently survives, does 1 damage to our Pyre. We can kill the Collector with a Fracture, which is what I want to do. Alright, so we're taking 1 damage because we turned on the Trial so far. Unfortunately, this one we didn't put any Reap on, so a Queen's Impling can't kill it on its own. But we could place 2 Queen's Implings. I guess let's place 2 Queen's Implings. Yes, because if we place the second Queen's Impling behind, then both of them die, only you get to the top, so we take only 1 more damage. We could play the Forgotten Trade to gain a bunch of echoes this turn. Really, the reason to do that is to get rid of it, because when are we going to benefit from that? I guess we can do it to to give the etch value. So the etch value allows us to do that. And actually the welder helper is not terrible. We want this other welder helper. We're going to draw 5 cards. Most likely that will include this welder helper. So I'm going to place this welder helper in the center with this train steward behind it. And then I guess we can still play the fracture up here, which makes it so that you die. All right, we are not taking that 1 damage. Great. Okay, how much can we do at the bottom? We are already beating the boss. Okay, great. In that case, I didn't need this welder helper. I saved that welder helper, but we didn't need it. We already went at the bottom. Alright. I want my first of kin to be better, and the main way to make it better at this point is to get a unit that we can sacrifice to it. Ooh, the Echo Transfer. So I don't want the Bogfly. The Broken Memories does work with the first of kin because it consumes and returns a consume card, which allows me to consume a card again, which means we can etch multiple times. The extract to apply 15 attack. I really wish now that I had not taken the first of kin and taken that sweep unit now, because not only did we find a large stone, which would have gone great on the sweep unit, this Echo Transfer would also go great on a sweep unit. But because we took what we did, we're going to take Broken Memories. Ritual of Battle is infused, and we have ways to get Ember. I like it more than Molting Imp or Pyre Chomper, I think. So we do have the Kinhost Vessel, which could go with our champion, because the champion adds a bunch of echoes all the time. Kinhost Vessel even starts with an echo. So we might be able to reliably hatch the Kinhost Vessel. Armored 20, multi-strike 1, strike applies reap to enemy units. If we were to sacrifice one of these, we wouldn't sacrifice any of them to my first of kin, I don't think. Yeah, not really. So I think let's take the Kinhost Vessel. I think we can make that one work. And I've been taking a lot of cards. I don't know how much more I want to take lots of cards. There's the Merchant of Magic, which would be probably good to go to. There's the Hellhorned Banner, which might be good. But I do really like free artifacts, and the 20 Pyre health is not bad. I think we depend heavily on our artifacts. So I'm going to go right so that we get a choice of another artifact. Please be good. When an egg unit is summoned, remove shell 3 and apply 30 armor. So it makes that one egg unit we just got much better. Alright, let's take it. 20 Pyre health, let's look at the Divine Temple. We see a True Stone, which is exactly something that we wanted. We've got 2 different things we would want to put it on. I think I put it on the vent. So let's make an amazing vent card before we make the Ancient Resonance amazing. Because I don't think we need the Ancient Resonance to have a lot more to make it good, whereas the vent needs some stuff, especially being piercing. And then also the Extreme Stone is good on the vent. Alright. I think I like those changes. Now let's see what we get in Concealed Caverns. Something good, hopefully. Ooh, I do like seeing that one. Which one is it? Okay, so we can purge a unit, we get an upgraded version later, or we can purge a spell and get an upgraded version later. I think we purge Ancient Resonance and get an upgraded Ancient Resonance. Thinks that's what we do. Sounds good. And I've never picked this one before. We've purged a unit, but we've never purged a spell. So let's purge a spell with this one. I wonder how it's going to upgrade the spell. I do not know. I would love to know. I would love to know how that upgrades the spell. Okay, well, we'll move into Daedalus the Professor. Remember, this deals 1 damage to the front unit. Not the most important with the particular units we have. We have units that have a lot of health. So, Spine Chief probably still goes at the top. Along with the Kinhost Vessel. Yes, the main problem with Kinhost Vessel right now is that we haven't upgraded it at all. We need to visit a Merchant of Steel to upgrade it, to make it a lot better than it currently is. But still. Do we put the Kinhost Vessel behind the Spine Chief? I was thinking about putting it in front, but maybe we put it behind. Because technically it's better than our champion. Technically. Sure, let's put it behind. And then we can play the rest of our cards. So we want to Echo Snare and Fracture. Echo Snare and Fracture. Do I want you to make it to the top or not? Because we could prevent you from making it to the top. Or we could play a Fracture on the boss, which will also prevent you from making it to the top. Because next turn you'll get here and you'll take the Reap damage. Okay, let's put some Reap on the boss. Okay, we can play a Queen's Impling at the top. Queen's Impling at the top dies because it kills this, and then the Explosive Sigil kills it? I forget whether... No, the Explosive Sigil does not affect the constructed explosives, so the Queen's Impling would survive, which is not actually what we want. Also note that we can't play either of our 3-cost cards because we have the Ember Drain, which is kind of bad, not playing First of Kin. I think what we do is we play Queen's Impling. And we probably play Broken Memories because we can get Echo Snare back. And that would make the Kinhost Vessel hatch faster. Sure. So Broken Memories. Get the Echo Snare back. We are going to let this Train Steward die. Let's have it die at the bottom. Ooh, the Echo Snare is on the top of my deck, so if I play the Train Steward, we also get to draw the Echo Snare. How about that? That's nice. Neat. I didn't think about that when I put the Echo Snare on top. So, now we need units to actually get there. We want to play a Queen's Impling in the center. The main reason we want to play this Queen's Impling is so that you die. And then, do we want to play a Welder Helper anywhere? The good Welder Helper. Possibly not. We could play another Queen's Impling to get rid of it. We could play a Welder Helper. We can't play the Welder Helper anymore. Alright, we've got 2 Welder Helpers in there. They might help. They might help by welding. So you at the top are not currently dying. We could change that with a Fracture. Think. Yeah, I think that changes with a Fracture. Let's do it. Alright, so you are now dying. That's good. Our Kinhost Vessel is also hatching. That's also good. We've got 2 more to spend. I think that we want to deal damage to that one and put more Fracture on the boss. More Reap on the boss, I mean. Let's do that. Because now 25... Ooh, great. Echo Snare at the bottom. I wanted to set this one to 25 because then the Spine Chief deals 25 damage and kills it, and then the Kinhost Vessel can attack the next one of mine. We can play a Vent this turn. Vent this turn might be very good. It does a lot of damage. I want to play Reap on the boss, the Fracture on the boss. Let's start there. Fracture goes on the boss. The 16 damage is not my favorite, especially because we never put an imp in front before Kinhost Pupa hatched. We didn't get to put one of the welder helpers in front, which is kind of what I wanted to do, but never had a great chance to do it. Where do we play the Vent? And where do we play the Train Stewards? We could play the Train Stewards at the bottom or the middle. I kind of don't want them in the middle, but maybe I would put them at the bottom. And I'm going to take the 16 damage, I think, rather than Vent up here, because I want to Vent at the bottom. Alright, let's do that. So we're going to do these 2 things. We're going to play Forgotten Trade, I guess. Play Forgotten Trade. Play a Fracture on boss. Now the boss is taking 50 damage right there. And then do this so that both of you die. Alright, I think we're going to be just fine. Part of that depends on playing the First of Kin in the center, I think. And I'm glad that we drew it this turn, so that we could play it in the center. The Disciple Protector just survives. Alright, now that we've got our First of Kin out here, I think we're going to do much better. We don't get to put Welder Helpers in front of it because we don't have space, but we do get to play the Fractures. And Fracture the boss a couple times seems good. And then we easily win at the top. Great. So that went fine. That went fine. Our deck is not amazing, and it needs to get amazing. The Eternal Kinstone adds 1 echo that cannot be removed. I really like Perfect Insanity. I'm thinking about an Eternal Kinstone, though, because it's infused, and we haven't really played with it, so I don't really know how well it does. It certainly makes Perfect Insanity better. It's just that, do we take it before we take Perfect Insanity? The problem with Perfect Insanity is reaching the Extract 6 might be pretty difficult with the deck that we have. It might be, and it might not be. I really want to take the Eternal Kinstone. We're going to take this one and try it out. Okay. Keeper of Echoes is really nice. It's really nice, especially because it's infused, but also it's really nice. We could sacrifice it onto our First of Kin as well, but I think we'd rather have it on the floor with our champion and the Kinhost Pupa. So the champion is a Spine Chief. It takes up 3. If we have the Keeper of Echoes there, then we need 1 more space for the Kinhost Pupa as well. But we might just sacrifice this to something else because it has a really good essence. And then this question has been hard for me because I want all of them. I think probably we take Light of Seraph because we have several units that are kind of big, and we've got a bunch of imps. The Fell's Remorse would, of course, be good, especially because we've got Winged Steel, and Herzl's Compound is always good. I think we do take Light of Seraph, though. I really want that removal, the Unstable Vortex, so we're going left. What we're missing out on is basically the ability to duplicate. Which, to be fair, I don't know what I would duplicate in my current deck. I guess we would duplicate the Vent. But we're not going right, we're going left. And let's look at the wing, this one. Immortal Stone's not bad on imps. It's not bad on imps. We could have an Immortal Imp. The Heartstone we almost certainly want to put on the Kinhost Vessel. Don't know what I'm going to do there. Let's look at the Divine Temple. We get a Seek Stone and a Value Stone. The Value Stone could go on Ritual of Battle, which would be quite nice. The Seek Stone could also go on Ritual of Battle. It's probably best on Eternal Kinstone. Let's do that. So we're going to do both of these. Ritual of Battle costs 2 less. Seek Stone goes on Eternal Kinstone, because we do actually want that on the first turn. And then let's upgrade our champion now that we know all of the things that we know. The multi-strike is not bad, gives us more echoes. This one gives friendly units more attack value. And we're kind of thinking that the Kinhost Vessel will be there, and perhaps the Keeper of Echoes. As well as any imps that we have lying around that fit. So I'm thinking about the Corruptor, but mostly the Infector adds 30 more health than the Corruptor does, and that's pretty nice. I think I'm going to take the Infector. Okay, we've kind of already done the Divine Temple. Let's look at this Wormkin Banner next. Don't really like either of those, and I don't really like the Essence either, so let's skip those. Alright, Unstable Vortex. I think we remove an Echo Snare or 2 Train Stewards. Let's remove 2 Train Stewards. That's much easier than removing Echo Snares. Remove the Train Stewards. Now, Merchant of Steel, and again I'm thinking about starting with a reroll. Actually, maybe we start with Heartstone and then a reroll. That would cost 85. I'm okay with that. So Heartstone goes on the Kinhost Vessel. And then let's re-roll to hope for something better than Immortal Stone, I think. What would be better than Immortal Stone? I'm thinking about what we would want the Immortal Stone on anyway. Because I don't think we want it on Kinhost Vessel. We could put it on a Queen's Impling. Would love to put it on my champion, but we can't do that. Yeah, let's re-roll again. I'm using my re-rolls a lot more than I usually do. Grade a unit with Quick. I don't know about that. But the Echo Stone seems pretty nice. Put the Echo Stone on the Kinhost Vessel. Alright, the Kinhost Vessel is upgraded. Heartstone. I don't think we want that on anything. We could put it on the First of Kin. Maybe we put the Heartstone on the First of Kin. Or we hold out for something better. Let's hold out for something better. I am thinking about purging a card, though. And we've got more temples. I'm still thinking about sacrificing the unit that we took. I think I won't. So we're done here for now, except for purging a card. Let's purge a Train Steward. Get those out of the deck. And we're not going to take the Heartstone, we're going to move on, and next time we're going to go on the left here. Definitely. I don't know what I'm going to duplicate, but getting 2 artifacts and removing 2 more cards seems really nice. So be thinking about what we duplicate during this battle. Enemy units enter with armor 15 for 150 gold. I don't know if we can take that. We have the vent that has piercing and does a lot of damage, but I honestly don't know that we do enough damage to support dealing with the armor 15. At worst, it does some damage to the pyre. I think that's the worst. Alright, I'm gonna turn it on. I think this might be the last trial that we turn on, though. And I'm not sure that it was the right choice. So the First of Kin could go a lot of places. We can't play the First of Kin and the Eternal Kinstone on the same turn. Ick. But we've got to play the Spine Chief. The Spine Chief might go at the bottom these days. What if we put the Spine Chief at the bottom? Because we depend a little bit more on the First of Kin. So let's put the Spine Chief at the bottom. Let's put the First of Kin... Do we put it at the top? Or the middle? The reason to put it at the top is we get more time to deal with things before it gets to it. So during the boss, we're going to do better if we have it at the top. The reason to put it in the middle is that we avoid the Ember Drain for next turn. And avoiding Ember Drain is often pretty nice. I think I'm going to put it at the top. So we're taking that Ember Drain. Very sad. Okay, it's very sad that we took the Ember Drain when we drew both of these. Yeah. Very sad that we took the Ember Drain now, because I want to play both of them and I can't. Well, I guess we don't deal with the Collector because the only way we could do that is with Vent, and I think we've got a Vent at the bottom. Actually, do we have to Vent at the bottom? Maybe we don't. Maybe we Vent in the middle. Okay, maybe we do take out the Collector. In the meantime, I think we need the Kinhost Vessel out first, because, you know, it needs to be there a while so that it goes through the shell. But that probably means the Keeper of Echoes is not going to fit in the center anymore. Or at the bottom, I mean. Yeah, I think some things went wrong here. And I'm kind of sad about that. But we do get to play Vent in the center, and we get to play a Queen's Impling or a Fracture. Which one of those would we want? Either one is fine. I guess let's get the Queen's Impling out of the deck. And then we play Vent in the middle. Get that 75 gold. Ooh, we even got Echo Snare. How convenient. I realize that another reason we probably would not have wanted to put you at the top is that your etch takes effect a lot less with you at the top. Didn't really think about that before. Ooh, we get the Welder Helper. The Welder Helper to put in front at the bottom. I think that's quite nice. So Welder Helper at the bottom. I think that we want to deal with you. You've got regen 8, which is the reason that you're taking as little damage as you are. So if we just play a Queen's Impling, I think you die. Yes, great. We could play the Forgotten Trade now, just to use the etch value of it. If nothing else, we can get it back with Broken Memories. Don't think the Forgotten Trade is helping us that much, so we're going to use it now. We did get another Welder Helper. Don't really know what I want to do with another Welder Helper, but I do know what I want to do with Ritual of Battle, which is put it on you. Actually, it could go on either our champion or you, since both of you have multi-strike. And then this Welder Helper, we don't want to go at the top. Do we put it in the center? I guess we do, because we don't really want it. Sure. Feel kind of bad about that one. Alright, we are dealing with things at the bottom a lot more effectively now. The problem is the other floors. So you are set to deal 5 damage to our pyre, because we're only killing the front one. We can change that. Let's hear. Broken Memories we are going to play up here. Let's get back the Echo Snare above the Forgotten Trade. I wish I looked at my draw pile before I did this. I'm going to get back the Forgotten Trade. Oh, we're going to draw it this turn. How about that? Well, fine. We're going to play the Fracture on you and the Fracture on you. Actually, do we need to play the second Fracture? We don't, because we're going to play that Forgotten Trade there. So where do we play this Fracture? Could put it at the bottom. Then we get the Forgotten Trade. We're going to play the Forgotten Trade at the top. That did not kill you. It didn't kill you? But it was infused. And you've got Reap. Why didn't it kill you? Wait a minute. It says the exact same number as it did before. How? How is it doing that? Well, let's play the Queen's Impling up here. There we go, now you're dying. Why didn't that work? I'm confused. We've got to reap somebody. I mean, put the Fracture on somebody. Kind of want to do it on you. But I also kind of want to do it on this back one. Let's do it on the back one. We're dealing with things at the bottom pretty well. And the top we can play a Vent to kill everything. So I guess we Fracture here. And Queen's Impling there. Echo Snare at the top for the etch value. Actually, we might want to use the Echo Snare on the boss. Maybe. Maybe not. I'm not going to worry about using it on the boss. And let's do the Vent. There's no place where we can keep another Echo. So yeah, let's just play the Vent. And things are going well. Now the boss. We are winning against the boss at the bottom floor. Excellent. I will take that. How nice. Alright, it's going. I don't think that we get through thousands of health of Seraph yet, but it's going. Soul Siphon we kind of don't need. Total Recall, we have some things that we really don't want to apply Consume to. Same with the Ambient Charge. But the Ambient Charge draws 3 spells. Drawing 3 spells and applying Consume to them. How bad is that? We don't want the Vent to have Consume. Most of the other ones we're kind of okay with. We've barely ever played with the Ambient Charge. I'm gonna take it. I want to try it more. I don't know why I'm trying things out so much on Covenant rank 25, but we are. Rage Serum already has Consume, it's infused, it applies 3 rage, all of that is pretty nice. Tiresome Climb is a way to ascend a unit. I don't think I want that. Do I want the Rage Serum? Is this worth a card in our deck to apply 3 rage? I think it is, but barely? I think it's barely okay. Okay, so how do you upgrade it, and can we leave it with you for more? So, if we take it now, it gets what? Heaven's Aid. Add a copy to your discard pile when played. I mean, that's pretty interesting. But I want you to hold on to it. I want to see what the next one is. What is after Heaven's Aid? I hope that we survive to see it. Alright, we decided we're going on the left. And I really want to look at artifacts first. So artifacts grant extra reap whenever you apply reap. That's not bad. Hammer chestplates is fine. The vapor funnel is kind of okay. It gives our pyre more health. I think we'd rather have Decayed Decoy. The main problem with Decayed Decoy is that it does not work very well on Seraph or the Last Divinity. That's the downside. Maybe we just take hammered chestplates then. Hammered chestplates makes my imps survive longer, which could be good or bad. I don't know. Let's take hammered chestplates. That was weak. That was a weak sauce artifact choice. Let's see what this one has. When a card with extract is played, gain an ember and an echo. Ooh, that's so interesting. We've got ambient charge, and that might be it. We've got ambient charge. This might be better with other cards. Giving my champion plus 50% attack is pretty good when it already has multi-strike 1. Let's take the Mark of a Champion. Now, I'm definitely thinking about duplicating our spell, our vent, because the vent is very upgraded. I think it's worth duplicating. And then we remove 2 cards. One of those is a Train Steward. Last Train Steward gone. Next, I think maybe this Welder Helper is bad. Is the Welder Helper worse than the Queen's Impling, which have infused on them? I think so. Let's get rid of this Welder Helper. Keep the other Welder Helper. We've got 80 Pack Shards, which puts us into the threat level extreme. Also a good reason not to turn on whatever trial this is. Non-boss enemy units enter with Spikes 4. Spikes 4, is that even bad? How bad is Spikes 4, though? I guess it hurts the Kinhost Vessel somewhat, but it actually kind of helps us with our imps, because we get to kill the imps more effectively. I don't know, I actually want to turn that one on. Alright, never mind. Threat level extreme. Let's turn on the trials. Okay, we probably don't want to play at the bottom. We do have a vent which can take out all of those, though. So we could we could do everything that we have at the bottom right now. And I think that would be foolish for the Queen's Impling and fine for everything else. Do we do that? Because starting at the bottom is dangerous? But I guess like we've said before, I'm really not depending on the Spine Chief as much as I'm depending on our First of Kin at the top. So yeah, let's start at the bottom. The Spine Chief is in front. We've got the Kinhost Vessel that goes in the back. We've got an Eternal Kinstone, which is pretty nice with the Kinhost Vessel here. Oh, the First of Kin. How unfortunate for us to draw you like this. Oh well, and then we vent to kill all of those guys. We could have played a Queen's Impling on a different floor to add an Echo, but I don't think that was worth it. So we did get our Keeper of Echoes that we get to put on the bottom, which is perfect. This is basically exactly what I wanted. So we're going to put you at the bottom. We could draw 3 spells and add Consume to them. You know, with the spells that we would draw, that's not bad at all. It would extract 3 though. And we can't extract 3 until we play something else. I don't know. I guess we're not going to play that one. We're going to instead play a Queen's Impling here, and a Vent at the bottom. Okay. So I could extract 3 to... because you've only got 1 shell, you're going to get that with the one that's going to stay. I would draw 3 spells and apply Consume to them, which would only really work for me if we drew the Forgotten Trade. But I guess it means that we go through our deck faster, which means we get back to the First of Kin faster. So I'm actually going to do it for that reason. Okay, so Echo Snare has Consume, which it already did, and we don't need to use it this turn. And then applying the Consume to the Fracture is not so bad. Alright. I see Ritual of Battle and Rage Serum. Interesting. I'm thinking about taking the ambient charge back with Broken Memories, because then we get to do the same thing again, go through our deck even faster. I think that's pretty nice, actually. So let's do the other things first. What are we doing first? We're going to do Rage Serum, Ritual of Battle, Broken Memories to... Oh no, I did a different thing than I intended to. We got an Echo Snare back because I was thinking that was putting a specific thing from my discard on top of my deck. That is a different card, not the card that we were playing with here. Oh well. I guess we don't play the Forgotten Trade now. I did that very wrong, thinking about a card which was not the card that I had. I'm very surprised that my Spine Chief hasn't died, actually. I'm happy about that, but I'm also surprised. We are making him a little bit healthier every single turn due to you, due to the Keeper of Echoes. A brief respite. We could do another Eternal Kinstone down here, or we could do it somewhere else. I guess since we have very few extract spells, we do it somewhere else. We do it at the top. I actually don't want to play too many cards, because if I play too many cards, if I play 3 cards, we're going to draw a card, and if I drew First of Kin, it would be quite bad. So let's just play 2 cards. Okay, how are we doing? We are not winning at the bottom. That's okay. I didn't really expect to be winning at the bottom, but I did kind of think we would be doing better. Apparently, you have sweep. Okay, the sweep is not good for me. I guess that's part of the reason. You having sweep is bad. So, do we just play First of Kin? The other thing... Man, I've got to play the First of Kin, right? The other thing that we could do is play Ritual of Battle on this back one. That would allow our Spine Chief to survive this sweep attack, but it'd still die from the Sycophant. So... I mean, except if we played Ritual of Battle, we would play 2 other infused things down here, so the Spine Chief would actually survive the sweep and the Sycophant, and then get to do its damage twice. It would die when doing its damage because of the spikes. Or we could play First of Kin somewhere else because it has 100 health and does 45 damage. If we don't win at the bottom, we need the First of Kin. So let's play the First of Kin at the top. It's sad, but that's where we are. I could have done probably a couple hundred more damage there, granted. It's just that doing a couple hundred more damage there doesn't do as much as you might want. Alright, we're definitely doing Ambient Charge. Draw... Oh no, we need more echoes first. We could do the Forgotten Trade first? I guess we do. Alright, Forgotten Trade first. Then we do Ambient Charge. We are certainly playing Fracture on the boss. The Welder Helper goes at the top. Let's do that. Welder Helper at the top. You're guarding him a bit. Do we even play the Queen's Impling? Because you've got Sweep. I guess it's better than one more Ember into Vent to play the Queen's Impling. And it does make the Reap do more damage. Okay, well, that's reasons. Do we play the Echo Snare here, or do we play it at the top? The reason to play it at the top is that you get 5 more attack. The reason to do it down here is that you get 2 times as many echoes as we would have. We would have 4, so you would get 8 damage here and some amount of damage up here. But if I play it here, the 5 extra probably does more over time. Okay, well, there it is. Then we play the Vent. And in theory, we are winning at the top, but I don't know how that theory goes. Not currently winning at the top. We only have 2 Ember. One of those is definitely a Fracture. So we play the Fracture first. And then the question is, do we play another Fracture, or do we play a Queen's Impling? And then the next question is, do we die either way? We might die either way. Queen's Impling does a static 10 damage. Well, it does 10 damage, plus it adds an Echo, and the Echo does another 20 damage? Or... No, the Echo does another 10 damage. So Queen's Impling essentially does 12, or not 12. What am I thinking? It essentially does 20 damage. So Queen's Impling does 20 damage. What about a Fracture? I mean... I don't know. We don't really have much of anything that helps up here with a Fracture. So the Fracture would only do 2 times as many echoes as we would have. we would have 4 echoes, so that's 8 damage. I guess the Queen's Impling is better by a small margin. And then we play the Vent. And then I think we die? Do we die? I think we might die. And is it because I took the trial? Because it might be because I took the trial. Yep, we die. Alright. We died at Battle 5 on Covenant rank 25, and I don't think that deck was going to make it. I think it could have made it past that battle, certainly, but I don't think that deck was going to make it. So I'm not too upset that we died as early as we did. But we'll try next time. We'll try next time with a different set and see how we do. So far, the Covenant rank that has gotten me the most trouble was Covenant rank 21, I think, and it was 6 deaths in a row. So as long as we can do better than 6 deaths in a row, then I'm doing great. Let's examine this mistake of mine more closely. If I would have played Fracture, Fracture, Ritual of Battle instead of the First of Kin, all of my units would have received +3/+3 due to the Inspire effect on the Keeper of Echoes. 3 health allows my Spine Chief to survive the enemy's turn, and die due to the spikes on the Disciple Protector. Due to the Strike effect on Spine Chief, I would get 1 more Echo, meaning my back 2 units get +4/+4. Then, since Sycophant spent a turn attacking my Spine Chief, my Keeper of Echoes survives 1 more turn. And then because it survived another turn, my Kin Host Pupa also survives another turn, even with the boss having sweep. The amount of extra damage here would actually have killed the boss on floor 1 if the Sower of Sorrow didn't have lifesteal, but still would have been enough to win this fight. This is a harsh reminder of a lesson I should have already learned. It is often worth it to take my time and do the math. Since this was a loss, no new Divine Winds nor Mastered cards. On the right, I am featuring only one enemy, the Sower of Sorrow, who killed me due entirely to my own mistakes. But furthermore, this is the second time a run has lost due to Sower of Sorrow. I lost to this boss in my first Covenant rank 1 and my first Covenant rank 25, the bookends of my failures. But even more, Sower of Sorrow is the only enemy not named Seraph that I haven't killed 10 times yet. On the left, the Kinhost Vessel reaches my 10 battle threshold. I was able to open this egg very consistently and quickly. I was happy with my egg cracking tech. And I am happy to announce that Torch becomes the 3rd ever card that I have played with in 100 battles, where I stopped counting. It is the first clan-specific card to reach this height. For artifacts, the Hardened Hull allowed me to break open the Kinhost Vessel earlier. It was very good, simply because Kinhost Pupa is very good. And Winged Steel, one of my favorite artifacts. It didn't have the most amazing showing in this run, but it was still spectacular. I hope to take it many more times in the future. Check out my tracking sheet for more information, link in the video description. New episodes every Saturday, and thanks for watching.